Hey guys, it's Steve with Basketball with Steve. Before we start this video, thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. We're like 8 or 7 subs away. So probably by the end of today or by tomorrow, we will reach 1,000 subscribers. So I thank you guys so much. In the comment section below, leave your questions for the 1,000 subscriber Q&A video. Thank you guys so much. It means the world to me. I would love to answer all your questions that you have about me, so just leave. If you have more than one, it's all good. You can leave 10 if you want, but I'm going to try to answer every single one, so it'll be a cool long video for you guys. And when we hit like, I don't know, 10K or 100K, I'll do a face reveal, even though some of you from my other channel already know what I look like. Anyway, this is why Larry Bird was underrated. So first, I'm just going to start off with basic stuff. He has 3 NBA championships. He's played in 12. He's been to the playoffs 12 times out of his 13-year career. That is astonishing. Now, out of those 13 years, he's made the All-Star game 12 times. He has 12 times. He has 3 MVPs, 2 Finals MVPs. He's been selected to the All-NBA first team 9 times out of the 13-year career. And you're gonna understand why 9 times is so amazing later on in the video. He's been selected to All-NBA 10 times, All-Defensive 3 times. He's just a beast. He won Rookie of the Year. Now, this is going to absolutely blow your mind. And this is why Larry Bird is truly, truly underrated. Look at his stats. Throughout his career, he averaged 24 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game, 1.7 steals per game, and 1 block per game while shooting 50% from the field, 38% from 3, and 89% from the free throw line. Now, when you look at those numbers, those are absolutely amazing. Now, the thing that makes this crazy, look at points per game. If you don't count the last 4 years in his career, and here's why you shouldn't. In 1988, he had a really bad back injury. And, he was sidelined for the entire season pretty much. He only played 6 games in the 1988-89 season. And then after that, he was just never the same, which is why his career was so short in 13 years, which is so sad. Now, here's why his stats are amazing. Remember, I'm going to repeat the stats. 24 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game, 1.7 steals per game, 1 block per game while shooting 50% from the field, 38% from 3, and 89% from the free throw line. Now, his last 4 years in the league, he averaged 19 points per game, 24 points per game, 19 points per game, and 20 points per game. So if you shave off those last 4 years where he was extremely slow and was never the same because of that terrible, terrible bad back injury, his doctors, and you can even look this up yourself, his doctors were saying they have no clue how he can even move and how he can even keep up with these athletes. Well, the reason why he could is because he was such a great athlete. Larry Bird was so incredibly athletic, and a lot of people don't understand that. And this is not about race, but most people, when they see a white boy, they're like, okay, he's probably a shooter, which Larry Bird was, but Larry Bird was also a great freaking athlete. Look at his early highlights. He was dunking on people's faces. He was dominating the NBA. Now, the season before he got injured, listen to these incredible stats. 29.9 points per game. So that's pretty much 30 points per game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Who does that remind you of? Or in fact, who is doing that in the modern day? Who did that a few years ago? Who did that for the majority of their career? LeBron James. And this is why I always say, and you guys have heard me say this before, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and LeBron James are the closest players in NBA history to come close to averaging a triple-double. And obviously, the only player to ever do that is obviously I almost said the late great, but the NBA legend in Oscar Robertson, who's also one of the best players ever. He averaged triple-double, and he almost did it like 5 years in a row. So, 30 points per game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. That's bananas. Like that. Those are crazy numbers, man. But that's not what makes him so special. He's one of the greatest scorers in NBA history. If you shave off those last 4 years, he'd probably average around 26, 27 points per game, maybe 25, 26, around there. So I know most of you are like, oh, 24, that's not great. That 24 is great for a career. It's not great for one season, but if you can do that for your career, that's amazing. But anyway, this is why Larry Bird was such a great scorer. He was extremely athletic. He could drive past you. He could dunk on your head. He could post you up. He had great footwork. He had a great size-up game. You don't believe me? Look at some of his highlights. Go watch his highlights. I really wish I could put highlights in these videos, but for copyright issues, I just simply cannot, and I don't want to get in trouble. But just look at his highlights, man. He is amazing, an amazing talent. That, and he was 6'9" and can shoot the gym. He can shoot the lights out pretty much. He can pull up from 30. He can take you off the dribble. He can drive past you. He can catch and shoot. He is pretty much... Who does that remind you of that can score like that? There are two players that can score like that. Kobe Bryant and Carmelo Anthony. Now, this is what Larry Bird was supposed to be. Remember when I said the reason why Melo and Kobe... Well, Kobe lasted so long, and why Kobe could have lasted longer, and why Melo's going to last long, is because they don't rely on athleticism. And Larry Bird did not rely on athleticism either towards the latter part of his years. It's just his back injury was so bad. He did not have lateral movement. He lost his quickness. He couldn't do anything. Literally, it was hard for him to shoot the basketball, which is truly sad because it ended the career of one of the best players ever. You know, he's amazing, man. The only season he did not make the All-Star game was the year he only played 6 games. Now, is that not ridiculous? That is bananas. That's crazy. He only missed the All-Star. So pretty much he never missed the All-Star game. If you count in terms of total seasons, he never missed the All-Star game. That's ridiculous. That is crazy. Honestly. That's crazy, man. Like, I know it sounds like, you know, I'm overhyping him, but I'm not. I'm honestly not. He's just an NBA legend, and he's so underrated. It's so ridiculous. I hear people saying, I ask people, you know, around the gym or teammates of mine or just friends of mine or in general anyone, and I'm like, who are your top 5 players ever? Most of them say LeBron, Kobe, MJ, Kareem, Tim Duncan, Hakeem, Oscar Robertson, you know, players like that, Dr. J. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, where's Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, you know? Like, where are these two NBA greats? Like, these two were the closest ones to triple-doubles. You know, where's Larry Bird? One of the best scorers in NBA history. One of the best defensive players. Like, where is he? He was pretty much Jordan with a jump shot. Now, he never shot as much as Jordan because Jordan shot, like, I think, like, for his career, like 23, 24 shots per game, and Larry Bird only 19. So that's a big difference. That's minus 10 points, at least. All right? So he was never the scorer that Jordan was in terms of shooting as much, but he impacted the game more than Jordan. Now, I'm not saying he's better than Jordan. All I'm saying is Larry Bird is extremely underrated, and Larry Bird really needs to get some respect, man. Like, I know a lot of people say, what are you talking about? People always say he's top 10. Yeah, you know, but when you ask someone who are the greatest players ever, you never hear them say Larry Bird. You hear you hear Michael Jordan, you hear Dr. J. Like, it's crazy, man. You hear Michael Jordan, LeBron, Dr. J, Kareem, you know, Magic Johnson, but it's like, what about Larry Bird? It's like he's forgotten, you know? And he's the reason why the NBA is where it is now, to be honest. Him and Magic Johnson, that rivalry in the 80s saved the NBA. You don't believe me? Look it up. It saved the NBA. Anyway, it's been Steve with Basketball with Steve. Let me know what you guys think about Larry Bird in the comment section below. Again, leave your questions for the 1,000 subscriber Q&A in the comment section below. You can leave as many questions as you want. If you want to leave 5 questions, go ahead. It's been Steve. Peace.